Hello everybody. The time has come upon us. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door has released on Switch. Now, I may have only have had like $65 in my bank account whenever it came out, but I owe it to you, 99 subscribers who don't watch my videos, to buy this game on release and play it a little bit and see if it really is the best Paper Mario game of all time. So I'm here today to give my thoughts and first impressions on the game. So here we go.
Welcome to the Roogaroo channel. It's the best channel that you've ever seen in your life. Roogaroo.
Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door just released on Switch. Now, I've played the first Paper Mario, I've played Color Splash, and I've played Origami King. I have never had the chance to play Thousand Year Door, and I've heard within the Paper Mario community that it's one of the best, if not the best, Paper Mario games of all time. So whenever I heard that it was coming to Switch and getting the real love remake treatment, kind of like Metroid Prime got, I was very excited. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about what I've experienced. I've had a chance to play this game on release, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. What I really like about it is the presentation. Recently in Paper Mario, they've kind of doubled down and tripled down on that papercraft element and aesthetic. And there's been backlash to that because there's been less of a focus on gameplay and story mechanics and stuff like that. So what they've done with this game is add that aesthetic and papercraft, visual element to this game, which already has a heavy focus on the writing, the characters, the gameplay, the mechanics, and all that good stuff. So now what we're getting is kind of the best of both worlds. And to say that there's a lot of work put into the visual elements of this game is an understatement. There's so much little texture and details and little animations and little transitions that have been added to this game that were not in the original game. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's amazing. The game does run at 30 FPS, but that was the sacrifice, really, to have all this beautiful stuff going around and happening without having any drops. And honestly, I don't have a problem with that. It's also a very faithful remake. I've seen people saying that any dialogue changes have been minimum. I mean, like it being localized, and also like another team being in charge of this remake, that's just bound to happen. But the noose is still in Rogueport. That should tell you a lot. And they even made it flap in the wind a little bit. So, very faithful. But like I was saying about the papercraft aesthetic of this game, the presentation from cardboard texture of the pipes to crumpling paper transitions to just little animations of characters, little facial expressions, they've really gone above and beyond in that regard. And I see why people say that this is the best Paper Mario game. I'm really enjoying it. The gameplay, the characters, the writing. And I also think that it signifies an important shift in Nintendo, because for the longest time, Miyamoto has kind of had his foot on Paper Mario's neck, so to speak, in that they have a very strict strainer of what they allow into these games now. Most specifically, that they don't want original characters in the game, not even variations of the normal characters. So we just get Goombas, Shy Guys, Koopas, and not that much variation. Maybe different colors, maybe a hat or something. And don't get me wrong, like Origami King had charming characters in writing, but actual character design goes a long way. Visual character design. And it's such a breath of fresh air to see all these different kinds of creatures as opposed to the usual rogues gallery of Mario enemies with little to no variation. Like I said, that's not to say that Origami King didn't have its charm. I mean, it did. It did, for sure. And, you know, they made up for not being able to have original characters with things like the little cafe scenes and, you know, like stuff like that. That had a lot of charm to it. But this game has all that kind of gimmicky like stuff going on, like all this visually appealing gag kind of stuff, and they have a plethora of original characters. So, like I'm saying, it really is the best of both worlds. Even in the beginning, from the beginning of the game, there's lots of stuff like that going on. Needless to say, I'm having a lot of fun with it. The gameplay is very fun. The action commands are some of the best that I've played in a Paper Mario game. Origami King, I liked it, but the combat just got so old so quick for me that I kind of dropped it not very early on. I played it pretty much till the end, but I found myself very bored and dulled by the combat early on. That hasn't happened with Thousand Year Door, and I'm well into the third Crystal Star, and I'm still having a lot of fun with it. The variation that you get from your allies to power badges to all these things, it adds variation to the gameplay, and also with being able to have these not just normal Mario enemies, and you can have all these new kinds of enemies, you also get the element of not just your own action commands, but, you know, dodging or blocking, so to speak, their attacks. So there's variation in that too. So it's, you know, there's a lot of fun to be had. I think that anybody that hasn't played Thousand Year Door should definitely get this remake. $60 for a GameCube game, yes, but they've put a lot of work into the game. It's a very, very good remake. And I highly recommend picking it up. And I'm probably going to do a full review of it whenever I finish it, whenever that may be. So, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, just as good as they said. There you have it. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. I'm getting back into making these videos. I've rebranded the channel as Roogaroo, and you've probably seen my new appearance, and we're going to keep up with it. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Roogaroo out.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.